I had the idea to try using Popseidon and Silas together because Silas will actually buff the Popseidon, giving the Popseidon more freeze duration through one of his buffs, and on top of that, the Popseidon will also do extra damage to frozen balloons, which will be pretty interesting. I believe if that is wrong, just correct me in the comments, but from what I was looked at it through the Bloons wiki page and all that, it looks like that is what the effects that I will get from this combination. So with that, I'm going to take this on Ravine and see how much cash spare I can get, and hopefully it will be a pretty decent amount at least. This tower is expensive and I am going to come into a huge roadblock, which is round 100, so I'm going to have to prepare most of that. The way I decided to beat round 100 is actually to brute force it and buff up the Popseidon so much that he'll just be able to clear round 100 easily, and with this, all the other rounds shouldn't be an issue. I was kind of thinking that I could maybe do first strike instead, but then I might have some troubles on other rounds, and using the bounty hunter and overclock on the Popseidon, I was able to make some pretty clever solutions to beat stuff like round 98 without having to buy anything else. So for the early game, I'm just going to be moving along. I got that one Desperado up there. I'm actually not going to be getting any Juggernauts at all, just this one Spike-a-Bolt to cover this side in the early game while I can get my towers up on the other side, and I can squeeze by with this Mermonkey and upgrading the Desperado a little bit. From there, I'm just going to move on and then build into the icicles and all that conventional stuff. Moving on into the mid game, I kind of forgot about the whole Silas level thing, and I was really unsure on how many icicles I wanted to buy and stuff. If I was more on point, I would be getting the tier 3s up as the first priority, but that's something that I forgot about. Luckily, this really isn't much of an issue at all, and I do eventually get up the third icicle, so if I wanted to make it easier on some rounds like 95 or 98, I could have gotten the tier 3 cryos and then also the A wind, which will turn into the absolute zero later earlier, but that wasn't too big of a deal. I was able to get through my goals just fine. And then over there will be the Arctic Knight, which will be the tier 4 middle path Mermonkey going into the Popseidon. It's going to be a 240 and then 250 subsequently because I need as much single target on round 100, so I can't get the better cross path, which would be 051, which would allow the projectiles to seek, which is a pretty big deal. Having seeking projectiles really means a lot. So I'm going to be trying to maximize the damage on round 100, so I will be having to go for that. And then with the 2 icicles on the other side, it will later be 3 icicles. I will be able to go into the popseidon, and I correct myself a little bit before I said I was getting absolute zero. Absolute zero will be vacant from this equation. It's a great tower, very powerful, but it's not needed here actually, and I will be able to squeeze by without it. So we're going to be saving up for this. Because of this though, round 82 is going to be a really tricky challenge, and that's really going to determine whether I can cut the 3rd icicles, which unfortunately I wasn't able to, but it was still pretty close. Maybe if I had gotten up the other tier 3 ices in time, I would have maybe gotten extra level. Maybe it was possible. It was pretty darn close, but that's all right. I was able to get the 3rd icicle and keep moving on. That might be a possible optimization though, but besides that, there probably really isn't much of anything that could be optimized and whatnot. But moving on, all of the odd rounds are really easy. It's just the even rounds that will be tricky, because I'm going to be dealing with having to beat the rounds with just a little bit of power with the 2 icicles on the opposite side. And then the other thing that I can use is the popseidon ability when we get that up, but that obviously isn't all the time. When they're on the even rounds though, everything will get absolutely destroyed. The popseidon's main attack, with all the buffs that I'm applying to it, which I needed for round 100, will just sweep everything. So that's really nice. As I said, I can use the popseidon ability, and everything, well, particularly on that side, if I aim it correctly, will just melt. The popseidon ability just bounces everywhere. It just destroys everything. With what I've got, the extra freeze duration buffs and all that from Silas and the rhyme, it should just go down no problem. So that's pretty cool. Around 95 also isn't much of an issue. And then 96, it got a little bit close, I want to say. I did this run a little while ago, but I ended up bringing an overclock over to one of those icicles just to get the extra little bit of damage, and I kept moving on, just trying to get through this. So that one was a little bit tricky, took a little bit of time. 98 on the other hand was actually really easy. First of all, we had to go through 97, which was no problem, just waiting for that to go through. But the cool thing about 98 is that I could put full charge into this. I just needed to save the level 10, what was it? It's not Cascade Burial, something. I don't know the name of the ability, but whatnot. Silas level 10. I just need to save that for 99. Other than that, I can go all in and just slam round 98 hard with one single popseidon ability, which is really cool. Round 99 goes down. That took a few tries. It got a little bit closer, but I just needed some good luck. And then round 100, unfortunately, I couldn't make it through with just what I had. I miscalculated a little bit, and I ended up having to get a Berserker Brew on the pop side just to squeeze out a little bit more damage and barely be able to clean up the insides. But with that, I was able to end with 44,000 cash spare, which is a little bit less than I wanted. I was wanting around 50,000, but this is an expensive tower, and I needed a lot of work to be able to take out round 100, so I guess that will come with it. Anyways, it was a pretty cool challenge, and thanks for stopping by.
Thanks for watching. If you want to help out the channel, you can check out these new videos, like and subscribe for more content, support the channel by becoming a member, and joining the Discord to chat with the community. Bye!